We are live in the building. Normally I would say live at 225. We switched up places. We are no longer live at Studio 225. I mean, we are the name. By name, we are still live at Studio 225. But we are now located at Lifehurst Studios. This is your boy DC, man. I am back in the building. I am here with my very first guest on this new podcast platform, new space, you know what I'm saying? New me, new people. We got the old guys too, they'll be back real soon. But, today is a special day, so we here talking big politics and a little bit of everything else. Let's start off by introducing yourselves. Well, I might as well talk to the person sitting next to me first, right? I mean, being that we here. So go ahead, introduce yourself.
My name is Tara, Ms. Unpredictable on Facebook, Ms. Unpredictable Walker. What am I saying?
Oh no, that's good for now. That's good. We could just start down the line. Might as well just start from.
I'm Win Dixie on Facebook. I am the president of the Big 3 Community Outreach, and I am just a concerned citizen with everything that's going on right now in our world and with social injustice.
And I'm the vice president.
There. I'm waiting for her to say okay, she's just Tara. Fine.
Right.
Okay. My name is Tina Gibson. I'm Tina Braids on Facebook, and I am the social media coordinator of the Big 3 Community Outreach.
Slash everything else.
Slash secretary. Slash secretary. Slash personal assistant to all three of these beautiful ladies.
Mrs. Make It Happen.
Mrs. Make It Happen.
For sure.
I am Ariel Faith. I am the treasurer of the Big 3 community, and I am glad to be here tonight. So
Cool, man. I'm glad y'all came out. Like I said, I was going to book a bunch of people, but I'm like, before I do anything else, I should probably book y'all first.
yes, thank you. We appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I'm glad y'all came through. So, VP, give us some information. Tell us what got y'all started.
So basically, Ariel Faith, she been doing this for a minute. We started off as we were straight protesters.
Right.
And Winter was doing it a little before me. And my son did a couple things for George Floyd when he was like 10 years old. Mm-hmm. And I attended, but I really started when Jalen Walker got killed.
Right.
So, it basically went from we was the protesters to we organized, and she didn't even really help organize the party, right? So let me tell you where she came in. We had organized this big, huge party. All the news people came out.
Right.
It was dope, for real. We had protesters, activist pressure was there. It was a lot of people.
Okay.
And so we raised all this money. We bought food, everything. Mm-hmm. And I pulled up and Win was there. And I knew her, but at the time I just couldn't remember where I knew her from. But I'm like, hey, can you go get this pizza? And she went and got the pizza, came back, and it turned into a huge march. Honestly, we did not expect it to be that big. So I think that's when the organizer in us was like, hey, we can really do something with this. But then, as stuff died down with Jalen Walker, Jazmir Tucker came about.
Right.
And we basically was like, we can't just protest. At this point, it's so much more to be done. We can protest too.
Right.
But that's not our main focus. We got to get to the people, get to the community. So we started it January 16th. We announced it at our first big event as the Big 3, Jazmir Tucker's Community Day.
Yeah.
We announced it, and we just been doing stuff ever since.
All right. For those who don't know, if you've been somewhere in a box or something, over the last, I don't know, my lifetime maybe, they've been senselessly killing black people. It's been happening like systematically for a real long time. But like during COVID and pretty much after, let's start during COVID. During COVID, it kind of got crazy. When you wasn't supposed to have your hands on people, it seemed like they started to put their hands on people more, right? It was like more killings. You heard, like you said, George Floyd. I remember those protests downtown. I believe somewhere in my archives, I got a picture of your son standing.
I need it
up on top of
because
by the courthouse.
I don't have
somewhere.
any of those.
Yeah, but I do believe somewhere in my memories I got that picture. But yeah, a lot of that was going on, and it still goes on to this day. But a lot of it was going on at the time, and that's when Akron, in particular, and I mean the whole world did, but Akron, we started calling to action, getting out, marching, and everything like that. Then fast forward, we talk about the Jalen Walker situation. Again, another senseless killing. Should have never happened. It was one of the gruesomest, worst things that I've, in my lifetime ever, I couldn't imagine it. Like, I mean, next to like maybe Emmett Till, there's nothing really that compares. But it happened here in Akron, Ohio, which again, like y'all said, got y'all back out to start. All right, cool. I just wanted to catch y'all up on everything. We're going to keep talking, and then we'll get to the current events here in a second. All right, so go ahead. Tell us some more information about y'all program. Like you said, y'all started in January. She said y'all started in January.
Yes.
What would y'all say the Big Three stands for, and what is its goals?
So the Big Three is really an organization that comes together to organize just, events and things like that brings awareness to social injustice. So when you say social injustice, that's not just one thing. That's a very broad topic, because before today, but like now with social media and just even with the presidency and just the way everything is going, a lot of people are starting to be more conscious and aware of what's going on. So we're using our platform to say, because like T is so popular.
Right.
And CC and even Tina, all of us really know a lot of people.
Right.
So it's like, you might know somebody for this, or you might know somebody for that. So it's like us coming together and bringing these resources and these people together for a common goal, which is just overall justice in anything, just overall, justice in doing the right thing. Right. And what we need to be doing to move forward and to be progressive with everything and everybody. Okay.
As people,
it don't matter what color, what tax bracket you in. Anything is just literally about doing what's right and what's best for everybody around us. Because when we work together, we work better. Mm-hmm. And a lot of things have been separating and dividing us for so long that now it's like in this time we need to all come together and stand together if we want real change.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anybody got anything else to fill in on that?
So, we just don't do, protesting is not our main thing. It is, but we just fed the homeless. We had Crockett with Love, and that was an amazing event. We brought crock pots to the homeless camp right across from, what's that?
The Haven Grace Park.
Grace Park. And we fed probably 100 homeless people. Yes. They were just coming through left and right. We had fried chicken. We had chicken noodle soup. We had rigatoni. We had
desserts,
meatballs, desserts, cookies,
greens.
Yes. We had everything.
They were excited about the fried chicken.
Yeah, they love the fried chicken.
They was excited.
It don't matter where you at. Wow! My camera switched. I don't know where. No matter where you at, you love some fried chicken. Yeah. At least me, anyways. Yeah. I would be the first.
So that was really, really nice, and it just put a perspective on how blessed we are living day to day, even though some days we think that our days and our lives is just the worst, to be out there and see people who had trash bags wrapped around their feet
because it was a blizzard that day.
Yeah, and it was a snowstorm, like straight blizzard.
It was really cold.
There with beautiful spirits. You guys are angels. Thanks for coming. We really appreciate just humble, sweet, down to earth people. And I think out of all the events that we've done, so far we're popping up, but that one right there to me touched me the most.
Yeah, that's dope to hear, man. It's good to know that people are people like y'all are using y'all y'all power, right? Y'all said y'all are socially active, and everybody knows who your guys are. So it's nice to know that you would use that for. I mean, like, of course, you can still get paid and everything like that monetarily, but it's good to know, right, that you're using it for something other than just that.
Right.
So when the Big Three stepped back out recently, do anybody want to first like break down what was going on now with current events? Y'all got an event coming up, right? Or there's a celebration.
So March 11th is King's Day. It's not our event,
right?
It's the family's event.
Okay.
But we've been working with Jazmir Tucker's family since pretty much day one.
Right.
But I want to make sure I put this on record. It's their event.
It's their event. Right.
We're just support, you know. Okay. But that's at 4:30. They're going to be meeting at Mature Lounge parking, and then they're going to walk over to the police department and drop off carnations, which represent blood, pretty much on the mayor's hands.
Yeah.
So we'll drop that off, and then we're gonna then drive to the cemetery and have a couple moments of silence for him, and then continue our day from there. Yeah. So that's March 11th at 4:30. March 15th. The Big Three, that will be our event. We're having a fundraiser, Big Eats with the Big Three. It's going to be March 15th from 4 to 7 p.m. We are going to be selling spaghetti. You can either get spaghetti or you can get chicken Alfredo.
And it will be good. It will not be the average.
Right. So we're going to have some seasoning.
It's homemade.
I'm making this spaghetti.
We cooking with love.
Right.
We cooking with love.
So it's coming from the heart. Right.
So this ain't about to be no store bought, but you can either get spaghetti or you can get chicken Alfredo. You'll get garlic bread, side salad, and then you can get a choice of 3 ranch, French, or Italian. Choice dressings, and then we'll have either pie or cake you can choose from, and either water or a pop, and that'll be $15. We are doing delivery for $6 because we'll be using our own cars and things like that. We do recommend that people do pre-order, so they can pre-order by going to our community page, the Big Three, and Tina Braids runs that, so she'll make sure she takes your pre-orders if you guys want to start pre-ordering for it, but that is next Saturday from 4 to 7.
And the page is the Big Three, the number 3, all separate words, the Big Three Community Outreach.
Yes. So
go like and follow too.
Yep.
Yes.
And then March 22nd, another event that's not ours. We are supporting Christion Olson's family, the young boy that was unalived, I'm going to say murdered, in the cul-de-sac out in Brunswick. Brunswick, right?
Yeah, Brunswick Hills. Brunswick Hills, because it's a different, Brunswick Hills.
Yeah. So on the 22nd, there will be a 1:00 protest at Brunswick, and that will be led by the family. Again, we'll just be there for support. So that is not our event, but we have been sharing it on our page, and we'll be there for support.
And the family wants, anybody who watches this, there has not been a lot of awareness with that young man's situation. This situation happened months ago. And even me being very proactive with what's going on in my community, especially with things like that, traumatic situations, I didn't even know that was a situation. So I was in contact with the mother, and she really just wants everybody to use their social platforms to just, if you see his post, share a post, we drop green hearts for Jazz, red hearts for him and things like that. And March 22nd, when they do their march, they want people to wear red and black. So red and black shirts, they will be providing posters. But, if you want to make a poster and bring some, then that's even better.
Where's it at?
It's in
Brunswick Hills Police Station. At the Brunswick Hills Police Department, because the police department was trying to keep them silenced, which is why they weren't able to really get their son's story out. So
could y'all give me some information about this story?
Yeah. Okay, so he was a young man, and that day he had some friends over to their home, and they went from his home to another gathering with friends. Now, this was, I believe, his first time going to Brunswick Hills with, his friends. Okay. So this was his first time there. And I guess he had a disagreement with one of the young ladies. I don't know, he had a disagreement, but they said it wasn't nothing that was like too serious or anything like that. No. And according to the police reports and everything, that's all they got from the witnesses. But as we know from autopsy, and then, you know, they just said, oh, we just walked down and we seen him on the sidewalk hours later. Yeah. So of course that raises questions, especially because this neighborhood was a cul-de-sac neighborhood, and it was a neighborhood crime watch neighborhood. So somebody saw something, but nobody's saying anything. And they dropped him off at home. They tried to tell his parents that he was intoxicated, but the toxicology report came back. He had no alcohol in his system. Wow. And, you know, he ended up collapsing at home once he got in the door, and the family had to call 911 and try to do CPR and everything. So, and they haven't got any respect or any, you know, help. So, you know, updates on the case from the Brunswick Hills Police. They have been, yes, they have been not updating them as they're supposed to, and making things very hard for them to try to get, you know, more information. So that's why a lot of people haven't heard about it, because they requested for them to stay silent, but they were, you know, once they realized they weren't going to get updated properly, that's when they start speaking out. So that's why, you know, the Brunswick Hills Police finally put out a statement, and they're trying to come out now because now it's starting to get some traction. So.
Wow.
Yeah, we have to, we as the Black community, we have to do our job. And when they do things like that, it sends a clear message of who and what's important. Mm-hmm. So when we see who they feel like is important or who they want to protect, that's when we have to come together and use these tools that, you know, people before us didn't have. You know, like Emmett Till. You brought up Emmett Till. Right. You know, he had a large gathering of people because of word of mouth. And now we're blessed enough to have these tools where we don't have to word of mouth or send a newspaper. We could go live right now and reach somebody in a whole nother country. So you know, the biggest thing with that is that just bringing that awareness, because once you put that pressure on a situation, now they have no choice but to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's crazy, because like I was aware of the situation. I wasn't aware of the details like that. Like you said, it was at the beginning, right, heavily suppressed, and nobody really spoke about it. And now in actuality, I didn't know about it until one day I was driving past a school, and I happened to see somebody had put a yard sign out inside of the school's lot or whatever. I'm driving past and I looked, I'm like, wow, what's that? Now I'm in my phone looking, and I'm like, oh, that's here. Right, I'm thinking this is maybe New York, Arizona, something, but no, it's here, and I'm like, wow, this is another one. Yep. So, yeah, man, it's crazy the world that we live in. Yep. When we talk about this, I guess playing devil's advocate, because I don't believe this, but when we talk about this, the first thing that people, mostly of our color, would say is that protesting, standing up, walking out, marching, doing blackouts where we're not purchasing from certain places, none of that stuff affects change. Starting with you, what would your opinion be on these things?
First of all, the problem is we cannot come together, and especially Black people. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Right. Like the Jews, they keep all their money, they circulate it through them. Yeah. The Arabics, you don't see really Arabics shopping at Walmart. Like they shop with their own people. Right. If we could all come together collectively and say, I'm not purchasing nothing today, there totally would be a change, because money makes the world go round. Right. So if they're looking and saying, oh my God, like the whole country didn't spend money today, and they can keep doing this, wait a minute, we got to chill. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I definitely agree with that. The protesting, now I have been to protests where I did not feel like it was effective. I'm just really out here cold, my nose is running, and the police is riding by laughing at us. But the protests that matters are the ones like, and see, this is where having a organization, well, even before the organization, we knew Judy from the NAACP. Right. We connected with some organizations, but now we got a lot of people reaching out. They want to do stuff with us and collab. So, do protests matter? The ones like in Merriman Valley, yes, they do. Yeah. We had people calling in crying. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I can't get down there. There's people everywhere. We heard the calls. It was hilarious. Yeah. When you can block traffic and stop business, like I said, money makes the world go around. Yeah. So, yes, protests matter, but I feel like it has to be some strategizing and organizing, because listen, when I was a protester at first, I'm out there. It could be 7 people. I'm like, justice, like, and I do matter, because it just shows that I really care. Like, I don't have to be out here cold with 6 other people. Yeah. But I did it. But it's like when you get further in the protest and organizing and community game, you realize that you have to strategize. You have to build rapport with people so that when you say it's time to go, guess who gonna pull up? Or I ain't gonna say pull up, but who gonna walk up? Them homeless people we fed. Yeah. And then the people from Community Day. Yeah. And then the people that get dinners from us. We build rapport so that our protests can matter. So yes, I believe that the economic blackout, if we could come together, but it's the ignorant mind frame that people have now. Like, I'm not about to be a part of that. Like,
because they feel like it doesn't directly affect them, but it still does.
Yeah.
Because
nobody does.
Yeah, that's just the consequences of integration.
Yeah, and that's usually what it is.
With that, you got to understand that everything is so systematic, and so this goes back to the black family dynamic when we were first brought here, and so separating fathers and separating families and creating that sense of hopelessness. And not understanding who you are, where you come from. And so that puts people in a situation where it's a lot of self-hate, and people can't accept that because that's not a reality that they want to face. And there's always going to be a Judas in the group. There's always going to be somebody who sees something but doesn't 100% believe it. Right. Because what I saw, and I see this every day, like even now, I don't want to say it wrong. What is it, Ramadan? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So right now, right? That's not a strictly black thing, but it's a thing in their culture that they welcome everybody to participate in because it's a spiritual thing. Mm-hmm. And so I saw so many black people. Today's the first day of Ramadan. We need to do that, but we say don't buy nothing this day. Oh well, that's just stupid because y'all just bought this and y'all just gave them this and y'all just gave them that. And I literally had a conversation with somebody because I know how to agree to disagree. And I understand that there is a difference between opinions and facts. I understand that. And I had a disagreement with a person that I'm very close to. And I was just like, you took all of this energy today for every last one of your statuses to attack. Because it's not even about the money. It's about showing that we can unify together. Mm-hmm. And that when we come together, we are dangerous. Mm-hmm. Because like you said, if everybody come together and don't buy nothing, well, and Target is getting it the worst right now.
Yeah. They are.
And they're not going to speak on that. They're not going to put that in the public because they don't want us to understand the power that we have within each other.
But numbers don't lie.
Yeah, so it was never about the money. It was about coming together and saying this is the simplest thing y'all can do. Y'all don't protest. Y'all don't get out here and feed the homeless. Y'all don't, but y'all lined up to go party every day. Mm-hmm. When them Jordans
drop, lined up for that free 3-5 on the west side.
When them Jordans drop, y'all gonna be there. When that iPhone drop, you gonna be there. So it really was just a mere test of the unity of our people. So and back to what I was saying about the conversation I had with a close friend, I said you've used your platform and you have a large platform, and this whole time you have used every last status since you woke up to be negative about the unity of your people. You are a problem. You are the problem in this culture. You are the problem in this community because. Just because you don't understand something, or you might not necessarily agree, because I get on one devil's advocate, I get that part of we need to not just shop black today, we need to shop black every day. Correct. Right? And then there's people who say, well, when I try to shop black, it's late, or it's delayed, or it's not done right, or someone wants a discount, right? Yeah. Because we've all been put our demographic has been always used first and put to the back. Right. Let me get what I can get out of you and push you to the back, which caused us to do that to each other. Because they walk into Gucci, they not asking Gucci for a discount. They paying $600 for a button. Mm-hmm. but then they go and ask their brother, can they get a discount on a 50-cent bag of chips?
Yeah.
You are the problem in the community. So it's just really, at a point in time when you become more conscious and aware, you have to understand that people going to be ignorant, and that's the people that you take note and you move along, because the same people who were saying, oh, this is stupid and this is dumb, them the same people who jump on the bandwagon later. You got to let them bump their head and catch up with the wave later. You cannot let that, like I said, it's the difference between opinions and facts. And the quicker you understand that social media is designed for people to get online and spew opinions with no facts, with no type of evidence, with no type of analytics or statistic to support anything that they're saying, you'll understand that you're a joke.
Yeah, and the fact they do push social media they encourage negativity, right? If I post, I love my people, right? I'm probably gonna get some likes. A few people gonna share it and stuff like that. But if I go in there and I'm like, I'm ready to kill something, I'm gonna have 20,000 likes.
Prime example, Junior. He was on the Jazmir train. Okay, he was on it, and so me and him was corresponding, and like I was going live with him at the protest or whatever. And he was so frustrated because people expect messy from you. That's what they expect.
Right.
So when we was doing it, like when we was going live and stuff like that, he wasn't getting a lot of viewers. When he would make a post about Jazmir, he wasn't getting a lot of likes. So as we on the phone one day, he like, now watch this. He went, and this was when the baddie stuff was going on.
Okay.
He went and made a post about the baddies. 1.5K likes and comments in less than an hour.
Yeah.
But so he going back and checking his post like,
oh yeah,
I only got 4 likes on this. So yeah, like if it's negative, if I go live and say, just like now, podcast, right?
Right.
Cool. But if I was on there like, let me just clear the air.
Oh yeah. Everybody will be chiming in.
Everybody want to know what's in the air now. Yeah. But so yeah.
That goes back to the self-hate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The drama.
And hating the reality that they created for themselves. So now they can be whoever they want to be on social media. So they can go and be, and when you're not happy, you're going to get happiness out of seeing somebody else fail, because it makes you feel better about you or your situation if you are a miserable person. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So yeah, man, that's a good transition. I mean, well, we can continue to talk about everything that's going on, but it is one of those things. Somewhere in the world, I heard this thing called the Toyota Corolla effect, right? If right now somebody came out here, handed you some keys and was like, here go your brand new car, right? And it was a, 2020 Toyota Corolla, right? Everybody would be online like, oh man, I am so proud for you. Go girl, your car, right? Now, if that same car was a Lamborghini, right? And you got it for free, folks would be like, well, why did you deserve this? Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How come you got that car and I couldn't? Are you going to be able to afford the insurance for this car? Right? You know what I'm saying? They call that, in my mind, it's the Toyota Corolla effect. But in reality, like you said, a lot of people need to heal from themselves. And this is things that we probably won't, in our generation, probably fix all the way, 100%, right? I mean, like, we already know that, like, broken households and things like that causes all type of turmoil, along with social media and a ton of other things that's outside of our population. Right, yeah. We constantly have things that's, like, outside of our race, right? Pushing in on us like, hey, you need to conform. You're not dressed right. You don't look right. Your hair's not this way. You don't talk this way. Like, you have to put yourself in these positions, in these places in order to affect change, right? You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say this. What do y'all think in the next few years, if you could affect change, if you could put something out there in the world right now, and then that thing triggered a domino, right, to later on change something in the world? If there was something, if y'all could think about it,
what
we
would
start.
it be, Tina CC?
Yeah, we start down there.
I don't know. I was so stuck on the last question.
Oh yeah, well you can elaborate on that too.
Because you know, I hear a lot of people say that we are not our ancestors.
Right.
And we're not our ancestors.
Yeah.
Because I feel like our ancestors had more heart than we did.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah.
So I just went to Atlanta this past weekend. And I was at Ebenezer Baptist Church where Martin Luther King Jr. Preached at.
Right.
I was on Auburn Street where he marched. And I learned so much about our history to realize the man was only 26 years old when he was doing all of this. I look at 26-year-olds now.
Yeah.
They would never.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's true.
They would never. They would never.
No.
When we talk about this blackout, and we talk about people who this period of span that we're not supposed to buy from Amazon for a month.
Right.
Do you know how long the Montgomery boycott lasted?
Oh yeah.
381 days.
Right.
So over a year, they walked instead of rode a bus.
Mm-hmm.
Over a year, they carpooled for the people that had cars instead of get on the bus. Over the year, they left their houses 2 and 3 and 4 hours early to walk to work, right? That would never happen today.
Right.
It would be an excuse of, it's cold outside.
Yeah.
It's this, it's that. So when people say we are not our ancestors, I always agree with you. You're right. We're not. Because I feel like in that period, we're not talking about slavery ancestors. Right. We're talking about the actual movement of protesting.
Mm-hmm.
It was effective.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because shortly after the year, now we riding buses. We in the front of the road. We running things. You know, we freedom riding now. We getting on buses, getting off, protesting. That's that movement. So when people say we are not our ancestors, I always tell them you're right. We're not.
Right.
Because I don't feel like you would do that.
Yeah.
And I'll call it out like it is. You can't even go 2 days without shopping on Amazon.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Target, and mind you, Target is walking distance from my house.
Right.
Since they rolled back DEI, and I'm not going back.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's other things that I can do. But speaking of Black businesses, and I want to put this in because this was a thing over the week that happened. We actually are the originators, Tina Braids is, of the Black Business Directory, which went viral. Mm-hmm. And so I want to say, if you want to become a part of that, you need to contact her directly or send a DM to the Big 3 community, because commenting on the post that I want to be part of this, she had over 200 comments, right? So if you're listening and you want to be a part of the Black Business Directory, please reach out to Tina Braids, DM her, or go to the Big 3 page, DM, write your business and what you do so she can add you. Because
the Big 3 community outreach.
Yeah, the Big 3.
The Big 3 community outreach
on Facebook.
That way you are able to be added to the directory effectively. Yeah, we can make sure your name is on there.
Yeah, and everything
I'm
that
only
you're
saying
doing.
that because now we not that popping yet. So when you type in the Big 3, it still don't come.
Yeah, you got to type out the whole thing.
Yeah, when I be trying to tell people to look at it, they have to type all the words.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could make something effective, I would like to bring the South up north. So like I said, I was in Atlanta this last week, and it was nice to look around and everybody was Black.
Yeah.
The restaurant owners, the bus drivers, the police officers. I mean, everybody. And it was Black luxury. You know, they walking in Gucci, not a care in the world. They walk. You know, I would like for it to be more like that up north, to where we're no longer the minority. You know, I would like it to be a more integrated, and I would like it to be more where we are aware and our children are aware of how important they are, because they are trying to erase us out of the history book. When I say that, they're trying to sell the Montgomery bus station.
Yeah, and there's some other places too that they got up on for sale too.
Yeah, which is insanity.
It's crazy.
That's just how you sell.
Who they selling it to? They need to sell it to one of us.
Somebody said that the Black community should get together and try to buy it, but the problem is the stipulations on it. They have it so. We would need to get a lawyer. We would have to really break down the contract, because they are literally trying so that the community can't buy it.
Yeah, because of what's going on a lot, especially in the South. And like you said, it's so much luxury down there that even though they're trying to, because I lived out there for a hot second, and they're trying to gentrify everything. And even with the gentrification that's happening down there, these Black people still thriving. They the ones that's, you go down to the, it's the hood right there, and then it's, where they gentrified it at, and you still see all predominantly Black people out there thriving. But yeah, that's what they're going to do when it comes to things like that. that's targeted to more conscious people, because anybody else would see that post. And back to what y'all was saying, if it's messy, it's going to get a lot of traction, because when you shared that earlier, it was only a few people that like reacted to it. And I was like, I don't think y'all understand the severity of this situation. And they're going to, it's plenty of Black business entities that are going to jump to save that history, and they're going to make it hard to do that, because they know why we want to keep it and why it's important. That's no different than somebody going and trying to, we about to sell the Washington Monument. Mm-hmm. Like this is a monumental piece of history in our culture, and y'all are showing us that we can buy it and we can sell it and we can trade it and we can do all of this, and y'all people not even gonna know what's going on, because half of them don't even know what this is.
But you know what was crazy, when I was looking at the different posts and everything, and getting back to that preacher made it officially like, don't shop for Target for 30 days. It's already have been a thing, but he made it official. And I was reading the comments, and it was so many not like us, is what I like to say now, who is now purposely like, I've never shopped at Target, but now I'm purposely shopping at Target since that Black pastor don't want us shopping at Target.
Crazy.
So they're now purposely going to go against the boycott just because we are doing the boycott. And it just makes me feel like, do y'all not see people playing in our faces? And that's when I say, like, yeah, we're not our ancestors, because our ancestors would never go for that.
I agree.
Our ancestors would literally probably do a human chain in front of Target and like, we ain't moving and y'all ain't shopping. So what's
and I
up?
feel like that was the biggest, and that's why I always kind of say that integration was. I understand what the purpose was, but I feel like integration benefits them a little bit more, because when they integrated us, it separated us in a way to where, when we were segregated, we had to stick together, because that's all we had was each other. And we were successful, we were thriving. And they were jealous of that, because even now, like during integration, we were integrated, we're some of the top consumers. Black people are some of the top consumers.
Right.
So they know, like, if we all really came together and decided we're not buying no Nike, or like if all the NBA players decided they're not going to play NFL, there would be no NFL, there would be no NBA, because we dominate in those areas. And they know that, though. We don't recognize who we are. They know who we are. That's why they oppress us. Oppression is $1 billion. They know who we are. We don't know who we are. Integration has really gave Black people this individualism mindset, to where, it's cool because it's not directing me direct, you know what I'm trying to say. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So they feel like they don't, why boycott for a day, or why do this or why do that, because they're like, my pocket's cool, I'm cool,
Until their pocket's not.
Exactly.
And then they want the same people that they speak down on to come and save them, and that's just what it is. That's why I said it's always going to be a Judas. In a situation like you said, our ancestors would never, and we would never be our ancestors, because I honestly feel like the irony of the world, and this was even where my own personal faith started to get. I started to question anything I believe in, because I was like, you know what? How do you bring these people, and even back to slavery, people who said, I'm not doing this, I'd rather die. I'd rather jump off this ship right now. And I'd rather take the 10 other people that's chained with me. I'd rather go. Right? So how do you take that bloodline and that mentality? Because we know that this is all genetics. So how do you take that and you put them in a situation where it was really like, it was death or oppression, right? And then you take these people who have every last tool in the world to change the world, and they don't want to do nothing with it. And it's like, if history, like if we take the people from now and we put them in slavery, I would have rather sacrificed these people to be slaves than those people, because we already slaves still. Right. And they think because they have this freedom to get up and walk, and I'm gonna work here and do. They think because they have that freedom that they're free, and they are not. That is the illusion that they create with the oppression. Mm-hmm. We're gonna, if I create this illusion as if you're free, you're not going to question anything, and anything that questions or goes against this system I have designed for you to feel like you are free and you can be the president and you can do this and you can do that. You're going to go against that, even if it's your brother, and more than likely it's going to be your brother.
Yeah.
because you don't understand.
That's true. Yeah. It's wild how that works, right? We talk about upward mobility, right? Trying to leave something and grow, right? You want to have wealth, some type of income, some type of something to leave behind for your kids, your family and stuff. So they're better off in the future, right? At the same time, I watch as our community downplay these people, right? You know what I'm saying? First generation, right? I might not be the one, right? I might not break the million, right? You know what I'm saying? But my son may, right? You know what I'm saying? I may have put him in position to break $1 million, but now he's able to start off with 500,000, right? You know what I'm saying? He got a car, he got a house or whatever. He don't have to worry about those things. Now he's just doing his thing to grow forward, right? Then we, for some reason, as a culture, decide to put a label on him. Oh, he's
whitewashed.
Right, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or he's this, he's that. He's part of some group, right? Now he's Illuminati, or he's this and he's that. Other than, we know like slavery and things of that sort is not that far removed, right? In the 70s,
and they're trying to bring it back.
Right, yeah. Every year we watch that happen, right? If we talk about current events, then we would say like part of deportation, right? Getting people who work jobs that's at low minimum wage. Like somebody has to fill these jobs, right? So then what do? You over police poor communities, right? You lock these people up, you put them in jail, and you force them to pull this job, right? Now you're going to go tend to the garden, right? You're going to go out here and not do it for yourself to make money, but you're going to do it at pennies on the dollar, right? Because in America, the only way for us to be happy, right, is to be able to get it for the low, right? Like you said, right? I can't have a business and be like, I need you to pay my price and I expect it. Because my people are going to be like, well, you know me. Like, I should be able to get $20.
Right,
I should be able to get $20 off, right? In America, we need to get it for the low. So if that's the case, like, what do you think that we should do as a culture, as a race, a society, maybe, to curb that appeal, right? Where it's okay for your kid to grow up and want to be a police officer because you gave him the tools, right? To know that once he gets in that position, what he needs to do with his power, right? To put a person as a judge in that position, like, because when your little black child sit down in front of this judge, we need representation. To put somebody, as the mayor of Akron, you know what I'm saying? That's not going to jump up there and be like, well, I don't need your vote. Because in Akron, we're mostly a Republican state, right? It don't really matter. I mean, our vote mattered. I need y'all to get out there all the time and go vote. Our vote mattered. But at the same time, we know that we're the way gerrymandering and things are set up, our vote only is in certain places, certain communities. So when it comes to local votes and stuff like that, we tend to not, we'll be like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter to me, right?
My thing is that it has to start now.
Yeah.
So like, I'm gonna be honest. I never went to a city council meeting before I started protesting.
Right.
I never went to a citizens review board before I started protesting. I never really looked into the different wards before I started protesting. Now, we go to city council. We go to the citizens review boards, right? We go to all the forums that are all around Akron, and we give our opinion. They see our faces. We make ourselves known. That's just like people who complain about the school district but don't go to PTA meetings
or vote for who is over all of this stuff.
But I'm saying, before even the voting, it starts with going to these city councils, knowing what's going on.
Getting familiar with the process.
This is before voting. I'm talking about before the big elections and before the mayors and all the city councilmen. You got to go to these city council meetings so you can know what's going on in Akron. Yeah. So you can know what is going on in your community, because there is some stuff that they say in them things, and I'm like, wait, what? Yeah. Seriously? This is that is free knowledge, but it's corny to go to a city council meeting. Right. It ain't cool to go to a city council meeting. Why would y'all want to do that? I could be at home watching But it's knowledge for us. Right. It's so many people who don't have any knowledge of the city of Akron and where they live, and knowing, where biggest KKK was here.
North Hill.
Yeah.
You know, it's some people who didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know, it's some people who didn't know that, you know, just how much culture we have here. It got to start at the bottom level. That's all I'm saying. You got to go vote. But if you're going to vote, you got to know what you're voting for.
Right.
In order to know what you're voting for, you got to go to these city council meetings. You got to know who is in your council, what they represent, what they don't represent.
Yeah.
Because trust me, I'm not going to lie. I voted for somebody based off of merit, right? Wish I would have knew a little bit more about the person and really dug deep with that person. I probably wouldn't have voted for that person.
I know exactly.
Because that person has done nothing for us.
Right.
Then, I mean, I'm just being 100.
Yeah.
But
We have a lot of
it's a
those.
popularity thing.
Yeah.
It's a you I know, you know, we know, but when I start protesting and start depending on these people to stand for what they said, and you can't get a hold of them, oh, it's gonna piss somebody off. Bet you don't get my vote next time.
Yeah, and that's exactly, it's deeper, and that, you know, education is all, you a student at best. So the more you know, the more you grow, the more you can expand and give that information to the next person. The bigger issue, I feel like, because it's a lot of consciousness in today's time that was not there, and the issue is people become conscious, but then they don't make people take accountability for what they're doing. So, for instance, right, oh, it's lame to be out here protesting. It's lame to want to go and do this, right? So these people are not teaching their kids financial literacy and setting up these insurance policies and this, that, and the third. And that goes back to what I said with people being ignorant, and you just got to know, like, you don't, like, I would hate to say that you don't matter, but you're not helping the cause right now, so you don't matter to me right now. Mm-hmm. I could lead you to the water, I can't make you drink it, right? And when you really look at it, these are the people who are so deep into this system. These are the same people who can go and make $3,000 a day doing something that they know they ain't got no business doing, right? But when something happened to them, they got to go fund me. And when something happened to them, the same people they rocking and rolling with ain't looking over their families. They dress up and put them on a shirt one day out of the weekend, and they keep it pushing. Yeah. Because how were you the man, and now your mom or your baby mom or your girlfriend or whatever is asking Facebook to donate to bury you? You walked around with that burial money in your pocket. Why you need it now, right? Because it's a lot of things that are glorified. And so when you're trying to keep people distracted and you're trying to keep them oppressed, we have to first admit, like, we are still slaves in today's time. Yeah. We have to admit that first. So we want to keep dancing around the main issues, and we keep putting the blame on blame. Listen, we know that this demographic of people don't care about us. We'll never change that, because from the minute we came into contact with these people, they let us know they didn't care about us. So why do you keep trying to get be recognized by these people and be accepted by these people to the point where it's making you hate where you come from? You know what I'm saying? I'm from the west side of Akron, 7714. I love my hood. Like, I don't agree with what's going on in my hood, but the memories I have and where I come from, you know, the going to Handles and going to the laundromat and kicking it out, those memories. It was a lot of community things involved. The dope boys was paying for people's shoes, and the dope boys was making sure that the athlete at the school got a scholarship, and that OG status. It was like it might be too late for me, but it's a chance for you. We don't have that now. Now it's like, you young, so you're gonna be able to beat this case, so I'm gonna throw you out there. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you think that that's not important when we're talking about these things, but it is, because we're not holding these people accountable, because like you said, it's a popularity contest. Because if I do something off the wall, right, say I decide to get on Facebook and I decide to just bully somebody, right? Because of who I am, all my followers is going to be like, yeah, da-da-da-da, right? Because I did a social experiment like that before. Right. Where I got on Facebook and I just was messy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they didn't even know that they were a part of an experiment. To this day, they don't even know that they was a part of an experiment. Because it's follow the leader. Because when you got people who people look up to and they want to be like them, or they're envious because when everything can be monitored, when you can get online and see everything, you're going to have a lot of monitoring spirits. Mm-hmm. So when you have all of these people looking at this person and wanting to be like this person and wanting to have this lifestyle as this person, that person becomes a hood celebrity, a city celebrity. So when this person, if you know genuinely this person is not right, this person is really corrupt, but we're not holding that person accountable, then it creates that space for these things to keep happening. Right. And I say this all the time. It's things in Black business owners and Black people, in power in our city that I don't agree with. I don't publicly go and bash them because we got 1,000,001 other people bashing us. But when we sit down together and we talk, no, this is not that. This is that person's real character. We're not doing this with that. You know what I'm saying? So deeper than the education, but also holding people accountable, because we know everything at this point. We know everything at this point. We know the rights, we know the wrongs, we know what we need to do to make the wrongs right, but we need to hold people accountable, and that is something that our community lacks. It's a lot of sweeping things under the rug, and if we cannot hold people accountable for the negativity that they're bringing to our culture and our community and our children, then we'll never grow. We'll keep having these conversations where we sit and talk about, what I'm saying, versus rooting out the problem. Sure.
Yeah. Should you add something you wanted to chime in on?
Your question exactly, what was it? If we could change something or what?
Well, earlier I asked if there was something, if you could put something in place now to affect change in the future.
So for me, I ain't gonna lie, I think about this all the time. I would have the DOJ brought in. Yeah. Because the Civilian Review Board, basically, no disrespect to none of y'all, but they a joke. They can't do nothing.
For people who don't know, what is a Civilian Review Board?
So, during Jalen Walker, we all, I know I did.
Right.
We went around and we got signatures. We got enough signatures to get on the ballot. A Civilian Review Board is a group of citizens from the community
that we voted on, right?
Yeah, that we voted on, who basically... in which I was under a different impression. I thought that they made changes and stuff, but the actuality of it is they give advice. Right. On cases like Jazmir Tucker, Jalen Walker. So
Jones?
Yeah, Mike Jones. So basically they just can only give advice. So, we did go to a Civilian Review Board meeting. It was at City Hall as well. And basically he just said, we don't have enough meat on our bone. And so I forget how it came up, or, somebody asked a question and said, why can't you guys be like Cleveland, where the Civilian Review Board does something and put stuff into it? Yeah. So basically that's when they say, we don't have enough meat on our bones. They are able to, what is it called?
They can review it and they can make...
it's called something.
Recommendations, counseling.
No, it's called... It's something...
the term itself.
It is something that is called, that the Cleveland Police Department is now. And I'm going to get back to you on that because I'm going to find out. Okay. But basically, they got investigated by the DOJ. Right. Once the DOJ investigates a police department... Yeah. The Civilian Review Board will be able to do more than just give recommendations. So I think about that all the time. Like I did, email Amelia Sykes, and I had a couple other people, but I knew people wasn't going to really chime in to do that. But I would love to bring the DOJ in so that, because I do see a lot, I see the people on the Civilian Review Board, for the most part, they really care, and you can tell. Mm-hmm. So,
their hands are tied.
If they had more leeway, I feel like they would do us some justice.
I feel like this might be just from the time that I went in there with Jazmir's family. Right. And I can honestly say it was the most disrespectful thing I had ever experienced, because here's a family grieving Y'all ain't here laughing, talking about lunch dates, dinner dates. We giving speeches. They not even looking at us. I'm talking about people's chairs, literally to the back of us. And you are here to represent me.
Yeah.
You're back to holding people accountable.
Who is that?
And this is my thing. The people on our board. So
where was you at?
I was at a meeting with the civilian board.
She went to the civilian review.
So here, and this is back to holding people accountable. If you openly say for the past 2-3 years, there's nothing that you can do, because when you're fighting for justice,
wasting our money,
you'll understand at some point. And this is where our martyrs come in. Some people died behind it. Some people got gang stalked behind it. Some people became paranoid, thinking that everybody was trying to get them because of what they knew and what they were trying to do. And people are not willing to do that anymore. So if you open up your mouth and tell me for the past almost 3 years that there's nothing you can do about this, but I'm going to still go spend money, that's where you need to be held accountable. Because if you can't do nothing about it and you got hundreds and thousands of dollars of funds, then why are you touching them? Because you can't do nothing, right? So if you're going to do something, what I think, and this is my personal opinion, difference between facts, but this is just my personal opinion of what I'm putting two and two together because of what I'm seeing. So y'all have these people come and they sit and they speak and they talk and whatever, and they give advice, the same advice they've been giving since the last case, and then they use, I'm not gonna say that, I can't say that, but they put people in a pedestal and they put public
figures
on this person, so that when it's time to vote for certain things, all right, now we got our guy in there, right? And now so he's going to do with these funds what he wants to do, or she's going to do whatever. Because logically, if you're for 3 years you have sat down and told me you cannot do nothing, but you can still spend money. Where's all of these abandoned houses on every side of town? Where's the community house at?
Right.
Where's the community center at? Where is these kids don't even do summer reading no more? Where are all of these things that y'all can be doing with them? I can't change police brutality. I can't change this. I can't. I'm not prepared enough and have the people behind me to go against the FOP or go against Brian Lucy. But what I can do is make sure we don't have another Jazmir Tucker. I can take this. So instead of taking this money to advertise this and do this and do that, I can take this money and every side of town, I can fix up a house, or if not, buy one that's already ready and make this a community center for these kids, so these kids have somewhere to go. So I can't sit here and say, knowing that my people who, our people who believe in this, I can't sit here and say that I believe that they care. Because I feel like if you care, it's one thing to say it and it's one thing to do it. Y'all in a position to do so much more, and y'all not doing that because y'all are keeping other people distracted by what y'all know y'all cannot do.
Yeah.
So where is it? You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I truly believe that whole board needs to be, what would be the proper word?
Erased.
Is it disbarred or whatever? That whole board needs to just be. It doesn't need to be a thing. Dismantle. It doesn't need to be a thing because it's not serving its purpose. You can't go to a job and work a job for 3 years and not do your job. You'd have been out the second week. So they need to. No, they need to get up out of here.
But they are doing their job.
But their job is that
as much as they can do their job,
and that's why I said with America making so much money off of oppression, they're not going to when we see black people in certain positions, that's strictly for representation. Because when they're in these positions, the American government, the higher ups, are not going to allow anybody to bring us up out of oppression because they make too much money. They're going to tie their hands. They're not going to be able to do it. It no matter if they're a representative. We had a black president, and it's still they are not going to let it happen, because if they let that happen, America won't thrive how it's thriving, because America thrives off of oppression. It was built off of oppression, and that's the whole thing of America. So when we have these people in these positions, they're really there for representation, because the American government is not going to allow them. They will unalive you first, just like they did Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King, Malcolm. Anybody who ever tried to bring us about oppression, they're going to get rid of them.
But you see what you said, right? You know your hands tied.
Right.
So at what point? Because we can't say this for everybody else and then make exceptions. This is where we have to hold everybody accountable to the exact. And then especially when you in that position of power, you need to be held to the furthest extent of you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So. With that being said, if you know your hands tied, then stand.
I feel like that's where integrity comes in.
You ain't standing for nothing because you know your hands tied. So you gonna keep lying.
Exactly.
You gonna
That's
keep
where
looking at these families and telling them.
And that's what makes it an issue when your integrity is being questioned.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's why when you said as far as like, oh well, you know, we do need people in there, but it's not much we can do. I'm friends with a politician, and their hands are tied a lot of the times. Yeah. And it's people looking at them like,
and that's the thing. Do this. That's the thing too. That's where we need to come. That's where I feel like as a community we come together for that, because we always look to a politician. Oh, let's look to this person, or let's look to this person, but nobody wants to put the work in. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like the big three. That's where our uniqueness is, because each and every one of us is very, very passionate about what we do in a social injustice and all that, and trying to bring the community together, because sometimes, and you know, they look at us like we're younger, and it's like, but that's what it takes, because if we'll do it, sometimes that'll motivate people to be like, oh, well, let's do it. Like a lot of young people were at the homeless thing. I was surprised. They was out there carrying boxes and doing stuff, because if you take a stand, and like if she has a large platform, she knows a lot of people, I know a lot of people, Wynn knows a lot of people. If we know a lot of people and we like, okay, we're not taking this more, other people are going to get on board. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like as a community, we have to be more hands-on in our black community. If we keep looking at politicians, we're going to be singing "We Shall Overcome" for another 60 years. We have to stop looking at politicians to do it, and we can do it. Just like the hip-hop community. I'm starting to feel some kind of way about the hip-hop, the rappers. We support their music, we support their merchandise, we support them, and they come here with their flashy chains on and all where's our black grocery stores? We're like, when we were boycotting, we didn't have nowhere else. That should be a problem. Why do we not have any more black grocery stores, black hair? It should be flooded in the communities, because we have all these millionaires. Now we got all these black millionaires, black billionaires. Yeah. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, at one point in time, there was a campaign, right, where people decided that like it was probably, obviously the right thing to do to like buy your neighborhood back, right? Yeah. You get to a place where you make money, and then you invest that money back into your neighborhood, right? You build the corner stores, you open up all these places. And yes, I understand, right? Again, playing devil's advocate, right? The first thing that a person is going to say is like, well, yeah, man, I want to bring it back to the neighborhood, but like, they gonna come in there and steal from me. They gonna rob my store.
And that's where organizations like us come into play, because we're trying to be more proactive. Right. If we can, like she said, find something positive for these young people to do. A lot of these young people don't want to be doing what they're doing. There's nobody keeping them in line. People have to understand that teenagers and young adults, they need structure. And a lot of these parents, they're lacking in that department, because a lot of these moms are single moms. They're working too many hours. They don't have time to properly nurture their children. And a lot of fathers, you know, it can go either way. And it's like these children are just being neglected. And what's happening is the only emotion that they know how to express is coming out in anger, because we're also, you know, a lot of parents are teaching like young black boys, like, oh, don't cry because you're a boy. That's great. That is very tough. And what's happening is these children are with these single moms who are overstimulated. And sometimes an overstimulated mom is just as bad as an absent father. Yeah. And these children are just out here just not knowing what to do. They go to school, their brains and their creativity is trying to be marginalized by these standardized tests, and not being able to really thrive creatively like they really need to. And then you come home, and then your mom's overstimulated. It's like they don't know, you know, they don't have any positive outlets like we need to. We have it for like the younger children, but I see that there's a gap with that preteen, teenage phase, and that's why we're seeing a lot of them running around doing stuff they don't have no business doing, because they have nothing to do.
They're like they're not even diet, like they have ADHD, mental health issues, and don't even know it. Right. Don't even know it.
I think there's stuff. I mean, I don't know. I think there's stuff to do. There's things for the kids to do. I just think the community don't know about it. Right. We hooked up with the Fallen Fathers.
Yeah, Fallen Fathers does have.
Shout out to Fallen Fathers.
Tim Anderson.
Fallen Fathers, he does have one. Yes, they have stuff coming up.
A camp coming up for basketball. They got like youth things coming up. So
programs where they teach the little boys how to interact with the police.
Yeah, we got Akron Black Baseball, right? There's tons of things coming on in the neighborhood, right?
It's just limited, I guess.
Like it's not.
It's limited, and it's limited, and it's limited because, like, you know, he can only, it's limited.
It's limited. It's not out there, but we need more people like him that's doing stuff for youth, and maybe everything not be so competitive.
Yes.
And just have some things to just have fun with. Like everybody
And collab.
Want to play football. And I mean, I don't really know much about Pee Wee football, but from what I see on Facebook, it's messy.
It's very. I was
that,
baby, that's not gonna change, baby.
I know.
It's been that way for years.
I get that. I understand that. But what I'm saying is that it makes kids have anxiety playing football. Because like they're not going to get played because they're not the best on the team.
Right.
When can we get a league where they just play to play?
Yeah.
And to build character, because I've noticed with the Pee Wee organizations, especially in the city of Akron, because my son played football for a lot of years, and I actually vocalized this to them because I didn't appreciate it. Character is a big part. I don't care about the team winning. When the children are playing Pee Wee, you're supposed to be building character. You're supposed to be helping them train so they can go to the next level, and that's not happening. Everything is becoming about their record, and everything's becoming about winning. As a big competition between coaches and teams, and kids are just getting, they're not getting that character development that they're supposed to be getting, because football is supposed to teach you something. You can learn something outside of football because you might not go to the NFL, but you might learn and grasp onto like the character of your coach. Coaches are supposed to be mentors as well, not just trying to win a game. You're trying to help these kids in life as well, and I feel like that needs to be brought back to the forefront too when it comes to sports and things like that, because these are student athletes, not the other way around.
Right.
Because I've noticed too in the school system they dropped the GPA again for kids that play sports.
Right.
It's a 2.0.
And it's like, what are we really instilling into the minds of the children? It's just like
my daughter just went to a track thing, and I looked at the paper. It's a 2.0 for her to play track, for her to run track. And I told Ken, I said, you already know what ours is.
Yeah.
Right,
3.0 and higher, baby.
Yeah.
I don't play
that's good.
3.5 and higher. I don't
that's
play
how it was
that because
for me.
we teach excellence.
Right.
Because that's an extracurricular activity. You don't have to run track,
Most
but
definitely.
you have.
But that's back to
grades.
that's back to that slavery. You know what I'm saying? And us dominating those fields, because especially what's going on right now in our culture is so many kids that's just trying to get away, and if it's a scholarship to play basketball or football or track, they taking it. So they gonna look. We gonna lower the stakes for you, because if you ain't got no guidance now, I can't wait to get you in that position where you sign a deal and I'm taking everything.
Yeah, you got money and you get yourself in trouble.
Exactly. Taking advantage of them young.
Yep.
So that you can groom up to what you want them to be, and then it's over. I'm
glad my son is not groomable.
Oh yeah. So look, all right. How do we bridge the gap, right, between the problems now and our goals for the future, right? How do we make our community more community, I guess, right? How do we close, tighten the circle and bring things
by
back
doing
home?
what we do, organizing events, networking, just collabing. Like I said, Butchie the barber, he came to our event, and he brought some of the young boys, and my friend Natasha brought her kids or whatever. But just like what we doing, organizing and getting people, bringing awareness, because right now it's so many people that are not aware that, hey, did you know these are your rights? Yeah. And you can say this to the police when they pull you over, or hey, let's talk about your credit. Like they don't even teach about that in the schools.
Yeah.
So it's like, to bring our community together, just keep having events. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the food is always going to bring the people out.
And having those tough conversations.
It's gonna be barbecues all summer from the big three. We barbecue.
We gotta also, and also with Bridging the Gap, and I think this is what I love so much about our organization, is the fact that we don't treat it like we're politicians. We are everyday people. We get on Facebook, we still laugh, we still joke. Like, we don't try to act like we have it all figured out. It's like, it's not like, I'm talking at you. It's like hey, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Like, I understand what you're going through, and I'm here for you because I'm going through the same thing. I'm not acting like I got it all figured out and I'm looking down on you or I'm forgetting where I'm coming from. All of us are authentically ourselves. Sure. And so when everything is so fake and you see everyday people coming out and, banding together, that shows people like anybody can do this. Like anybody can do it. We can get together and we can do that because they doing it. And these are the people that we love, and these are people that we trust, and we we kick it with. We in the clubs with them. You know what I'm saying?
Creating that safe space.
These politicians ain't in the clubs kicking it with we is still out here going out, kicking it with the same people that we're helping, because I am you and you are me, and we are better together. So let me not act like I got it all figured out. We going through this together. And when people feel like they're not being judged, or they don't have to be ashamed of what they're going through, they come to these events so that they can get those resources. And if I'm coming to feed the homeless, I might be on the verge of homelessness too. I'm about to eat too.
Yeah.
We all about to eat, because we all going through the same thing.
Creating that safe space and trying to rebuild the village. You know how people say, oh, the village is gone. It's not gone. We just have to pick up the torch, and we have to reestablish the village. That's what I say.
Oh, yeah.
And just create that safe space so that they can feel comfortable to come to you and say, I'm struggling with this, or, you know, I didn't know this, and just provide it. And that's why we also have the newsletter. And, you know, I try to always put things in there that it'll have a little fun fact. And
Healthy
then,
tips.
healthy tips, like, because a lot of people just don't know. So I feel like if we can provide, you know, help provide knowledge and help provide literature and things like that, and then just, you know, being proactive and trying to jump ahead of things before, so we don't have to be so reactive all the time.
Sure.
I feel like that will help to bridge the gap. And just like I said, creating that safe space and just showing love, because I feel like we have, with social media and everything, I just feel like a lot of love has been taken out, where people just be pointing the finger like, oh, look at them, or look at them. And you might be sitting at home behind your screen going through something too, but you looking at them, and it's like everybody's so quick to just, you know, do that. And I feel like we need to bring the love back, to be like, I understand that you're going through this. Even if you're doing something not supposed to be doing, I'm going to love you through this. I'm going to let you know that what you're doing is not right. But let's see what we can do let's see what we can do to fix this with love, and a genuine love, you know?
That's dope. Yeah, man. Again, look, reason why I had y'all come first. Like, I knew that this was going to be informative. There's probably a lot of other topics and stuff that I could reach and touch, and I probably could have been more organized with it. But don't worry, I'm definitely going to have y'all
we
come
coming back because we having a party in August, like a big launch party, and we want to promote that too. So we going to be back before August.
And make sure y'all save me some space up there, so then we can come up there and podcast and show our support.
Yeah, for sure.
You're always welcome.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Yeah, man. We travel, we do all the things. So
you can come to any of our events.
See,
just give us the...
Just give it in some facts. Sending you all
Yeah. Let me get in and get some early information so I can make sure I got the day set up.
For sure.
I'm there. You know, I support my people, so it is what it is. I am glad that y'all came out here. You know, like, without y'all, it ain't no us. This is something that I always say, but it is the truth. So I appreciate y'all for coming out for that.
Thank you
for having us.
Before we get up out of here, I mean, like, y'all the big three and everything, but y'all are individuals as well. So, like, give us some information about yourselves. We start down here. We'll let you tell your information, your handles, some things about yourself, you know?
I'm Ariel Faith. I am a mixologist, but I'm also a beginner line dance instructor for everybody that still can't do Tamia in 2025.
Stop talking about me.
I'm the girl. You can't do Tamia?
Can we do a private lesson? Because none of us, we need a private lesson. Like Sunday at the meeting.
All three of us was like,
Sunday. You going to teach us Sunday.
Okay, so for anybody that, you know, wants to learn beginner line dances, you can't do it either?
No.
What is happening? Okay.
I can act like I'm doing it. I can look good. But my feet, my footwork.
We're going to slide everything out the way, and we're going to just turn the music up here.
Yeah. So I teach step-by-step line dances, but I also teach, my biggest platform is on TikTok. I actually do TikTok live Monday and Thursdays from 7:30 to 8:30. I teach step-by-step line dancing. So you can Google Ariel Faith 96. I will pop straight up. And follow me for all of your line dance needs.
Okay. Like I said, my name on Facebook is Tina Braids, and I do a little bit of everything, I guess.
She made her hats, y'all.
Yeah.
They fired too.
Yeah.
She made her hats.
I do a little bit of everything, so you might see me on my page like crocheting, sewing, braiding hair, doing makeup, you know, just a little bit of everything.
Rapping.
So yeah, rapping, singing, writing something. You know. I kind of dabble and dabble with everything, but that's pretty much it. I'm a mom of special needs. I have 2 special needs boys, but I have 5 kids total. So I'm a mother, and I focus on that, and I advocate for them and anybody that has, you know, disabilities and things like that, because that's definitely something that has to be talked about as well. But yes, that's my passion right there. And being a personal assistant and secretary for these beautiful.
Not a personal assistant.
No, not personal assistant.
Real fast,
No, not personal
did not know Tina.
Yeah,
Let's start
I
there.
just like.
Community Day for Jazmir Tucker.
Yeah.
I walked in. She had this bright hat on. It said Jazz on it. So I'm like, this must be his family.
Yep.
She's like, hi, how you doing? I was like, how are you? I'm like, who are you?
She thought I was the face
I'm
painter.
like, are you the face painter? And she's like, no. And then she went and made a video. And it was like so dope. She videoed our whole event. And we was like, oh my God.
Real professional.
And then she literally just started jumping in. Literally, we didn't even ask her. I made a post. I said, we're doing Crockin' with Love. Here she come with a flyer with our logo on it and everything. Then here she come with a video getting those crock pots ready. I'm like, she is fire. So literally we just met her January.
Yeah.
That's community. This is what
community.
looks like, right?
She the glue. This is the glue. Like,
Yeah,
For real. We be on our group call like, oh my God, call Tina.
Yeah.
Call Tina.
she's trying to be so humble. But
Yes.
Oh yeah.
she
yeah.
like you don't like. You don't have to tell her nothing. Like,
You don't.
Yeah.
she
know how to word
she's
it,
ahead of
everything.
That's
she
what's
coming
up.
with everything.
That's why
you need
personal
before you even
personal
know you
assistant
need
wasn't
it.
gonna fly for me.
But it was just funny because they didn't really know. Like I knew of her, but she didn't know I knew her. But I kind of knew of her because I know her mom. But like I just showed up and she was looking at me too because she was like, because I came early. I said I told Winter, I said I'm gonna show up early so I can help. But I told her, but she so they didn't really know. But it was just
She
funny.
set up
You can
and-
wash the pans. You know, I was like, okay, I'll help. And I was putting stuff together. It was just funny because she was like, well, who are you? That's how she looked at me.
It's been history ever.
Yeah.
Right. Needless to say.
Yeah.
It went
Right.
without a hitch. She's here today, so
Yeah.
That's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, so y'all add my Instagram at Winter Kyrie KAIRII. Yep, and then my Facebook at Win Dixie.
last thing.
Last name right, DIXIE. Yeah, like I said, I'm just a concerned citizen. I don't like what I'm seeing, and I want to make
She
sure.
ready to make a citizen's arrest right
For
now.
real, I told her to make one earlier, but I just really want to. I know that what we're doing is something that's going to take generations to get back to where we supposed to be at. So I just want to make sure that before I leave here, I do my part, and when it's time for me to go where I go, I get my little well done tap in my halo. So that's what I'm doing.
right.
What I'm doing.
Yeah, well done. Faithful servant.
Most definitely.
Facebook is Ms. Unpredictable, MZU, all one word, Ms. Unpredictable Walker. I do have a daycare. There's Angels. I am licensed by the state, so I take Title 20. Tap in.
Period.
I have my Instagram is _watch me work.
Yeah.
I'm about to put you out there.
She was pulling it up the whole time. Too,
Yeah, he was watching me. I'm struggling. But it's _watch me work _86.
Oh, that's why.
I'm older, so I really like Facebook. Ms. Unpredictable. But like I said, I do have a daycare. Passionate just like them about everything. Everything we do, we passionate about it. And there will be a lot more to come.
Oh, and I do photography, guys. And don't contact me if you talking about shooting people and you want to have guns in your videos. I'm not that type of photographer. Okay.
I will say this though, for people that have this misconception that when you start an organization, you're automatically funded. Everything we do is out of our pockets.
Right.
So I have to
Most
make that known.
Thank you for making that clear.
For some reason, people think like, oh, you got a nonprofit, you're just rich. Everything that we have done has been through donations from the community, and we thank you so much. And a lot of it is out of our pockets. That's how passionate we are. Yes. We take our own funds from our own families and our own, and we have been trying to make things better for the community. And of course, we want to get on a larger scale so we can do things way bigger, you know what I mean? But right now,
it's coming.
It's coming. I believe it. But right now, it's on a smaller scale, and that we need you guys' help. So if you ever want to donate, please, we do have a Cash App.
Yep.
Oh, look, is she reading it off though?
Big 3 CO.
She reading it off the phone though. She don't know it by
I
heart.
don't even. I gotta pay.
I knew it.
Came with notes.
It's the big 3 CO. You can feel free to donate for Cash App. Or make sure you come out for the big eats March 15th from 4 to 7 and get you a hot meal.
Not really come out, but order.
Order,
and come
yeah,
get your
yeah,
order.
And be in
Or get
contact.
it delivered.
Yeah,
pre-order.
order delivery.
Yeah.
We're not partying. We
Or
just
be in
cooking.
contact,
Yeah.
with
In
the
a
big
clean kitchen, no hair in the food. The food is it's
Yeah.
really gonna be good. 'Cause I can cook.
No, that means something. I ain't gonna lie. Look, listen. Look,
Yeah.
you see me, Captain. Listen, clean house, clean kitchen, that
Yeah.
means something.
Yeah.
Especially if you're cooking from the crib.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank y'all, man. Y'all are
Yes,
amazing.
thank you for having us.
Again, I am glad that y'all came out here. I look forward to having y'all come back.
Dope.
Yeah, man. We got a lot of big plans coming up in the future for not just what I got going on with Life Heard Guy going on. Again, if y'all don't know, we got Life Heard Studio now doing a podcast. So, we got a lot of events. As y'all can tell, we right above the musica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the tunes we've been
Yeah.
rocking out to today. So I look forward to sometime in the future doing something where we do like some music events and a little bit of other things.
Yes. Line dance live.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You definitely can feel free to
Sun
come.
Brown,
Yeah.
hey.
We can definitely put it together.
You gotta teach us to me
I will
for the
teach-
party.
I will
Yeah.
teach it to me.
I don't know.
Party.
I only know the
Yeah, because
electric slide. I'm really
I feel bad. Yeah, I can do the electric slide.
That's it.
I could do the what is it? The wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble.
Yeah,
baby.
see, I don't even
That's
know.
Y'all are
She look like she could do a mean wobble.
y'all are so.
And I can.
Yeah.
I feel so like that's not okay. I'm a whole line dance instructor. Y'all can't do the Tamia.
Oh, y'all,
You be doing all them extra twists and turns.
we get to it. Yeah. Y'all
I will do it basic for
we
you
need,
guys.
yeah, we need.
No,
we need
the
advanced
top of my
version
body.
and then,
If you
yeah,
look at
starter.
the top of my body,
You got it.
I'm doing it to me a
Yeah.
line dance.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just
saying.
when you get to the feet. So if you don't look at my feet, I did it.
Yeah. So check it. Yeah, I feel the same way, right? The top of my body, I feel like I'm doing the
Yeah.
5 steps. There's 5 steps. Remember that song? Boys to Men. What is it? Not Boys to Men. Drew Hill.
What?
I'm saying, you know how they be jumping around?
Tell
and
me.
just-
Tell me.
Tell me, yeah, there it is.
well,
Yep, tell me.
yeah, that part.
See, yeah, that's how up here I got it, but everything else, everything else, it's over. It's
horrible.
over.
I
But don't
just
get me wrong,
move with
and
the crowd.
and to make it worse, I do be seeing your live videos. Like, go ahead and do the dance, and I can't. You know what I'm saying? I scroll. I
She be
look
like,
at it
step back. I be like, no.
Yeah, I pop in. Yeah, I pop in and look and be like, yeah, that's. I'm a little exhausted now.
We'll get together.
But yeah, man, y'all great, man, and I'm glad y'all came through. Is there anything else that y'all want to say before we get up out of here?
Thanks
Don't
for
forget
having
to
us.
donate to our Cash App.
Yeah, don't forget to donate to the Cash App.
Yes, if you don't.
And follow the page.
Follow the page.
The Big Three Community Outreach.
Yep.
Yes.
You got to say the whole thing like a
Gotta
big.
say the whole thing.
Yeah,
Three Community Outreach on Facebook.
So it's great, man. Again, look forward to having y'all back and doing some things with y'all.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.